Alright, so a few things have changed. I don't know when the last clip I made was, but put the nose cone back on. Oh, we had that shown. Put the gas tank back in. I hooked the battery up. Nothing's burnt down yet. It's got power down to the ignition. Spark plug wires are hooked up. Tried to use the starter on 6 volts. It doesn't work very well. We're cranking on it last night or yesterday, and there's a severe squeak in there, so that's not great, so we're gonna ignore that. What else? Oh, that's the 77's Super 77's old filter. I heard rumors of those really old filters. They'll disintegrate and put filter material through your main bearings, and I figured, well, we ran the 77s on that one, so it should be fine, I hope. But the gasket doesn't really sit down in there, so it's probably just gonna leak oil. But from all the cranking we've done on it, which isn't a lot, but it's been enough, there's been no oil movement anywhere. Granted, it's mostly hydraulic oil too, so. But I just want to see if it'll fire. That's the exhaust from the 70, because we know this thing's going to be firing out stuff if it does go. And John put gas in it. I don't know if anything got to the carburetor or not. It did.
It's leaking by the car.
Okay. Filed the points. Should be spark. And yeah, would you like to hook this up to that positive cable over there, John?
Cable?
Or the terminal. I want to see. We have this spark tester deal. And I don't know if it'll have spark or not. Maybe it'll fire, and then you'll just get shaky cam.
Starter smoked almost immediately. I heard it snapping.
Yeah, I heard it snapping too, so. Yeah, I think we're done with that. You may as well just put that back on there. And kind of want to give this rig a. I know there's plenty of oil on the cylinders, even though I sprayed carb cleaner in it. So we'll see if it even fires. Is that gas on?
No, it's not.
Okay.
You would know it's on.
Apparently it leaks really badly. This is 2-stroke.
Not as bad.
Is it on? Oh yeah. There it comes.
It was a solid stream.
I don't know if it'll do anything without choke. Also, we have not done anything to the starter or the carbons. Doesn't sound too happy.
No, it doesn't.
How are we gonna get a choke? I guess I can use my hand. Did I lose contact over there? I don't think so. My starter just died. Maybe. Try it. It's got power. One crank dies immediately. Let me get a hammer.
The starter is dying.
Your starter is actively dying, so We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh, we should wedge that rod in the clutch so we're not spinning over everything.
Oh. Wow, fancy.
Throat bearing has been greased, so.
Oh, you got it to take grease.
Yeah, I did.
It fired.
It's spitting oil out of the exhaust right here.
Oh yeah, there she goes.
I don't know if that sound we're hearing, is it trying to make oil?
I don't know. I'll give the starter a rebuild here.
Smoke!
This is one of their rigs that you don't crank on too long because it probably won't go. Let me rebuild the carb. What's that noise?
We're gonna smoke alarm.
Oh.
Back to the starter again.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I suppose the plugs will need to be cleaned.
Probably.
See how many hits.
Alright, stop it. I don't know. We're gonna have to do something.
So, some things have changed since then. This last clip. We baled hay. But we've been messing with this rig and the starter is dead. She just, they're not dead, but the beans.
It spins like a
It's
6 volt.
And the fan spins about that far. So we did what any logical person would do, and we rummaged and found a starter in the 70 in the trees. We didn't find it. We knew it was in there. So we're gonna see if that thing will have enough life. It already seems like it's got more life than the other one did. And keep in mind, this starter has not like actually been used since the 70s. So
we'll probably get one crank.
yeah, we'll probably get like 10 seconds of cranking out of it and it'll just be dead. But I don't want 2 dead starters. But anyways, do you want to run the choke and throttle, or do you want to crank? Just clip the positive on the starter and then just touch it on one of those bolts.
We ain't got enough hands to record. Record.
That's what I'm doing right now. Unless you, if you want to run the starter and record. You only need one hand to do.
I guess I'll run this.
Watch out for the oil explosion out of the exhaust.
I'm aware.
All right. Turn the key on. Turn this. Put the throttle to ish. got the choke on?
Mm-hmm.
Just pull the cable.
I
Whew. Jersey just jumped at something when I did that. Okay. Is gas on?
Yes.
All right. She's gonna go.
I didn't even spray anything.
Probably have to hold it.
It doesn't want any choke.
It's spitting oil. Keep in mind, that starter has not been used. The tractor that starter came off of has a hole corroded in the number 6 piston.
Oh, there's the head gasket we need.
No, we're not taking the head gasket off of there.
I don't know what it wants.
I don't know either.
More throttle?
It's got this big notch right there, and I don't know what that is. If that's like kill it or what. Maybe we don't have much time with that starter. It's gonna be one of those where the oil coming out of the manifold. Gonna be one of those things where it kicks out every time, I suppose.
Oh, I don't know. Let me hit the carb. Pull the choke. Got oil dripping out of the manifold, out of the exhaust. I don't think it wants choke. It doesn't want a lot of choke.
The bugs are starting to get bad.
That kid is an explosion of oil.
I'm watching it. All right, well, you guys get the point. I'm gonna mess with it.
Ain't no safe spot over
There's no safe spot. We're gonna mess with it. I'm kind of turning the camera off because I think it might start when it's not camera shy. So yeah, John just thought I was recording. Note there are like 4 completely junk gaskets on this engine. There's enough water in it to leak out of the head, just straight water.
Because the gasket broke.
Because the gasket's broke when we pulled the head off of it. Valve cover gasket's gonzo.
Timing cover.
The lifter cover. So, anyways. It's just gonna hemorrhage liquids when it runs. So, here we go. You wanna get on the tractor? Maybe we shouldn't be showing this on the internet. Sounds like it's only trying to hit on like 2. But
it has all the throttle.
Ah, there's so much. Just go. Starter's still cool to the touch. Are we only hitting on a couple cylinders or what?
Well, good news, the motor doesn't sound bad when it does run.
Yeah.
Never mind. I take that back.
Well, I think that's the generator or water pump. Can't tell what it wants.
Let me give her a shot of.
Give her another huff. Just give. Oh, it's not what it wants.
Come on, come on, come on, baby. Oh, what was that?
Maybe I'll see if it wants to choke.
You might be able to pull that from over here. The oil coming out of the exhaust. We could probably change the angle of that and point it away. We could. All right, we'll be back. Oh, it's a little smoky. I think we're only running on 3, trying to pick up 4, but tested the compression, and only 3 really registered. The other, well, 4 were dead, 2 were running, but we picked up more than 2 now, so I don't know what's going on there. So, alright, so we've had some success. Some as in, it is running. We tested compression, but we only have compression on 6, 4, so yeah, those are the only 2 that read compression. 4 or 5, 3, 1 didn't read anything. So that's why we're only running on 2 cylinders, but we picked up a couple more now. I got the clutch out now, it's running. Put a little load on it, and I think that helped it a little bit. Let's see what we got. 131 on 1, 134, 146, 148, 151, and 164. So these 2 front ones are questionable. Whether or not we should clean the plugs now, they might be fouled some. Yeah, I put the new plugs in it was definitely the way to go. That got it to actually run. You know, the plugs that I had been using were, well, they were just plugs that I found. They were out of the 77 at one point. Didn't know how good they were. You know, they might have been bad. That's why they've been replaced. So generally they don't really go bad, but I've been kind of worried about having oil pressure, but the oil draining down the back of the block is kind of my sign that it does have some. But we're kind of thinking this thing was just parked because she was just sack worn out. So we're fogging for mosquitoes, that is for sure. Burns out, which would be nice to get some of the smoke on. Yeah, we're draining oil down. The valve cover's not tightened down or anything, so it's trying. I think we're running on 3.5, 4-ish right now. We'll have to test compression when we after we've run it for a while. So it might take a while to pick up compression before it really get those wings back. Yeah, but I think she was just parked because she was just sack worn out. So, oh yeah, that candy apron run down there. Yeah, that's fine. So we do have victory. I don't know how good a victory it is, but it is some victory.
kind of hoping she'd just, whoop, pick up, but that hasn't happened yet. That bearing into the transmission was squeaky, so we've kind of been watching that. But good heat cycle ain't gonna hurt it, although it's only got hydraulic oil in it for engine oil, so that's not great. I'll say that. Share. But I'm happy it's running. Oh, we're mega discharging. The end gauge does work if we are discharging severely. I should sit on it so that I can say I sat on a 70 that's run on the farm. Yep, run that crap. Nothing. I mean, it is fogging for skeeters. I mean, there just ain't no doubt about that. She's fogging for skeeters. I don't be careful. What? I think that's it, trying to pick up cylinders, but I'm not sure. About half throttle. Idle screw right now, or the high-speed jet right now. Give it full throttle. Been watching the temp back here. I don't want to overheat it. $134, $145, yeah. Yeah. Alright, we're good still. We ain't overheating nothing, so yeah. Anyways, it's running. Jersey's ready for bed. We've got some neighbors that I have a couple Great Pyrenees that showed up today, so she's probably tired. She's probably just ready for some peace. So yeah. Probably wouldn't hurt. I think this engine just needs a rebuild. It needs some love. I think, like I said, I think it was parked because it was definitely parked because it was tired. So we'll put it that way. So yeah, thanks for watching. Gonna try and move her. smoking maybe a little less, not running on any more cylinders. She's got them drag slicks on the one side. No idea what gears. If it doesn't run out of gas, it'll be shocking.
Ain't got no gas in it.
I just said that. Oh, probably should try and do something about that spoke if we want to try and actually drive it. It made it this far under its own power.
Oh.
This is what we're referring to. We're not trying to break that spoke. But yeah.
I don't know how we're gonna move it without breaking this.
Oh. It moved this far under its own power until the tank got too high up to get any gas. All right, we'll be back with you guys. Well, we returned back to nearly home base because, well, we got over here and it was too steep. Ran out of gas just on the last clip, so. Or, I don't know, we'll just let it run, I suppose. Try and get more cylinders and more heat in it. But yeah, that's where we're at. Well, as you can see, it runs not great. It's running a little bit better. I've got the book from the Tractor and Trees that we're gonna hopefully find a valve lash setting. I'd like to do a compression test too. I think it is smoking less too, so I'm gonna try and find a valve setting, valve lash setting, and then we'll try and do a compression test, and we'll see what we have. Quick compression test. Well, 2 is the only one that doesn't have any compression now. We're gonna adjust the valves tomorrow morning, or next time when it's cold, I should say. It only has about 60 psi of compression, so it's not a lot, but 60 psi is a lot more than it had last night at this time, so yeah. Well, the starter from the 70 in the trees died, but it still works. It's just, she's worn out. This one's better. It's not great, but it's not that bad, so yeah. Hopefully we're just gonna swap this Bendix into that motor. So, well, yeah. We're knee deep here in starters. As you can see, maybe that one will just start working. Yeah, maybe it'll start working. That's the one the motor doesn't work on, but I had a good Bendix. And this is the one that the motor worked on and had the bad Bendix.
What's your proposition for that? The lock ring tab is...
Loosen it or tighten it to make it work. Don't want to tighten it anymore because I guess the threads are okay, but the threads, well, half of the threads are worn. On this starter, there's one bolt that holds these. This spring right here bolts onto this. This threads into here, so it sits on here. I guess I can just put this in. I assume we're gonna put this one together. I plan on it. It sits like this, and this bolt holds the whole thing together. So that bolt was loose on this one, and we think that's probably why this gear got all chewed up. Had enough play in it, but hopefully the motors work after this. I doubt the motors like to be disturbed and then made to work again, but hopefully this works. Who knows? But yeah, I guess we know how to work on these starters now. They really don't look too bad to rebuild, but
I left my pliers out there.
here, take mine. But yeah, here we're working on it. Should be back up and running again. We stripped quite a bit off of this one. It got a little bit into the flywheel or into the ring gear, so that's not ideal. But it did. Yeah. Well, hopefully it works still. Anyway, just a little update. Well, I'm not sure if you can hear her or not, but she is a lot quieter than it was last night. Yeah, it needs a new water pump gasket. But it's blowing it off the spark plug, so it's fine. We adjusted, or Charles adjusted the valves, and that was it pretty much. There was a couple that were kind of funky, but other than that, they're all pretty well, right? So. Oh, now it's just dumping it into there. Yeah, it's warm. I knew it. We put this clamp back on it, and I figured it was probably going to leak. That's kind of why we both didn't want to put it on. Hopefully it'll close up. I think it's starting to close up a little bit. It's a pretty big gap it's trying to fill. There's still water up here, so it could use a little more, but there is some. This quart gasket is just hanging on for dear life here. Anyway, well, we'll call her, stop the video here. Yeah.